Hello viewer, welcome to yet another episode of Sports Sugu. A lot of sporting action happening during the weekend whereby we had Kariobangi Sharks playing against Everton, and sad news in Kenyan football as our own legend, that is Joe Kadenge, may his soul rest in peace. So we are also going to be looking on the AFCON results that happened over the weekend, that is the round of 16, and also looking at the Women's World Cup, whereby USA showed the world that they are really the reigning champions for the third time consecutively. We are also going to be looking at the Copa America, whereby Brazil managed to win it in their home backyard. So remember, our SMS line number is 21144. So send us your tweets and we shall be sampling them as the show continues. To help me discuss all this story, I have an interesting panel with me. So my ever-present guest, so welcome to the show once again. A lot of beehive of activity happened over the weekend, whereby we saw our own Kariobangi Sharks hosting Everton.
Yes.
So Timo, did you attend the match?
I was there at home.
At home?
Yeah.
So you didn't manage to make history?
I didn't manage to make history.
But
I made history.
I
made history. I watched the match.
You watched the match?
Yeah, that's history now.
Okay, so but you were never there in real life to see the likes of all.
Oh, you have to have it in hand.
Okay, my other guest, Jeff.
Yes.
Karibu sana kwa show.
Thank you.
You managed to watch the Everton.
I was behind the screen, stop asking.
Simple and
Ama
clear.
utaniambia ulikuwa na analyze.
I was behind the screen, busy with a pen and a notebook analyzing every start of that game. Yeah.
Okay, so viewer, to keep you up to date with the sporting activity, we have my panel over here. We are going to be discussing these exciting games that happened. Remember, we also had the Safari Rally 2019 edition, which was flagged off by President Uhuru Kenyatta just here at Kasarani. So guys, Everton versus Kariobangi Sharks, first of all.
Yeah.
A very interesting match. Did you anticipate a team like Kariobangi Sharks to play a big side like Everton?
Yes, because the last time, the main reason is that for them to have played against Gor Mahia and to win, which Gor Mahia in a time last year, they played against Everton in Tanzania and they were beaten 2-1. But the thing is, Kariobangi Sharks, they were the underdogs of the Premier League
To this game.
Yeah, coming to this game. But they proved themselves that they are worthy of playing again.
And it's also the first time we are seeing an English side being thrashed by an African team.
team.
So meaning we made a lot of history yesterday.
A lot of history. I'm wondering why Mingne didn't look out for some
These
players
kind
in
of players.
Kariobangi Sharks.
I know it's a question that
Many people are
has been going around. Jeff, do you think this question that Minye didn't pick these boys of Kariobangi Sharks, some of these players, but we had their goalkeeper participating,
Yes.
being called up, but we didn't see what he can do. What he can do. So what do you think about the Kariobangi Sharks?
For me, first, kudos to the team. They made us proud. Second, I think they owe it to their great style of passing. They connected a lot of passes and the ground still favored them. The pitch was quite up to standards and their passes were clear cut. Yes, as much as Everton were attacking, Kariobangi still showed that they were up for the fight. Yeah.
It's the first time we had the likes of Theo Walcott, Andre Gomez. I was saying
Jonathan Lossell,
these guys. I think at some point I was thinking that sesi venye wanakuanga kwa TV, because these guys, if you look at them, most of them are very very young guys. I don't know, saa zingine TV
Kamera inatudanganya.
wanatudanganya.
Photoshop.
So seeing a team like Everton coming to Africa, what does that tell you, and particularly Kenya, what does that tell you about Kenyan football?
That finally the sponsors, the major sponsors of football are finally noticing talent in Africa. In South Africa, Barcelona came to South Africa.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, Everton still came to Tanzania and still came to Kenya. But in Tanzania, they played a Kenyan team.
A Kenyan team. Yeah.
Exactly, and still they came to Kenya. And I believe that Kariobangi gave them the competition they were hoping for. Yeah.
Okay, Timothy.
Yeah.
You know, football without fans, it's nothing.
It's nothing.
And yesterday, once again, the Kenyans portrayed their love for football.
Yeah.
The Kasarani Stadium was full to the brim.
Yeah.
So what's your take on the fans coming or kujitokeza kwa wingi?
Yeah, so first of all, a big thank you to SportPesa for giving them a spotlight to buy the tickets. It was a good thing they showed their patriotism. The stage is of 60,000 people, but according to how the stage was yesterday, it was more than 60 people. And they showed their patriotism because if you were keen enough, each player of Kariobangi Sharks, when they were attacking, could just hear the celebrations.
The celebrations.
From the Kenyan
I was among the guys.
Ah, relax,
people. Okay,
relax,
fine. We
relax.
get the point.
Relax, Nani, relax.
We get the point. Fine, fine. And it having a big audience, a large audience like that, just wavering you as you play, it really calms
It's a
the heart,
plus.
and it's a plus for them. Yeah. So thank you.
Okay, so once again we say the congratulations to Kariobangi Sharks for making Kenya proud and also Africa. So we wish for the SportPesa to bring us another team, maybe the likes of Arsenal, Manchester United.
No.
We need this-
Torino.
Arsenal.
Yes, the likes of Torino. We need these big challenges so that we can be able to test our Kenyan football at which level we have reached. So remember, viewer, we also having the ongoing African Cup of Nations. Surprisingly, host nation Egypt being eliminated by South Africa. Jeff,
Yes.
we start on that note. South Africa being eliminated, eliminating Egypt.
First of all, I would like to say that the South African team that played the group stages, and the South African
It's
team that
not
played,
the-
Wasn't.
those are two different
Two
teams.
different teams, yeah.
And Egypt, as far as they had gotten, they had a perfect record.
Yes.
That's a team that Javier Aguirre had prepared, and he was quite optimistic about the results that were to come in.
So who impressed you particularly in the South African game versus Egypt?
Brighton winger Pasitao.
Pasitao. I think he's been speculated to be the next Messi of Africa. Is
That guy was being
is-
compared to such greats as Hazard, Messi. I believe that he's one of the drive, those people who are driving South Africa. Because if you see, he has already made it. He started his career at Melody Sundowns. Brighton spotted him, they took him, but took him out again for a loan spell at some
Belgium
Belgium club. And he's back to, I think now Brighton will start considering him as a first choice player.
as a first choice player.
Because of the exploits he has done, plus in the Belgian league, he was among the MVPs.
So we are going to see him playing in the championship next season.
I hope so, because I know the coach, Brighton's coach, is watching.
Because he's watching.
Yes.
So on that note, that Egypt being eliminated and they sacked their coach. So what do you think? What accumulated to them sacking the coach?
Well, first of all, that is frustration because
You have to take out the frustration on someone.
yeah,
And
because
which was the first casualty.
the first thing is that the Egypt fans were very optimistic. Actually, it was optimistic for us to know that even if Egypt won't win the AFCON, at least they should reach the finals. They were among the best choices, being them, they were Egypt, Algeria. But having watched the game from the first half
Minute
to the second half,
I know you are putting me under pressure.
yeah, because the thing was the energy that South Africa portrayed at the first minute, it was the same energy they portrayed until the end.
Until the end.
Until the end.
So we've seen now Trezeguet and Mohamed Salah threat is now over for the
now
rest.
over.
Other
But,
teams, other African countries can now breathe.
We
I
have
think
Algeria.
the fact that you think that you are a great team, and it gets to your head, that
over.
spoils
That's where the
everything.
problem
It's over.
starts.
I think that's where the problem came in for Egypt. They thought that South Africa, they entered through, let's say, the back door, since they were number 3 in their group.
Yeah. The
And they
best
thought
losers.
that these are underdogs. As much as we miss our chances, we'll get another one eventually, and we'll score. Just we need like 1 or 2, and we are through.
When we're through.
But the South Africa that showed up was no other South African team. It was a great South African
We
team.
could see the tiki-taka style of
Exactly.
play.
They are passing, the way of counter-attacking, how they defended, they did everything
I think
better than
these
Egypt.
big European teams, the likes, let me say so, the likes of Manchester United, should look at how these African teams are playing and
Yeah.
maybe scout these players.
Fine, but if you bring in, I said in the last show, if you bring in a European player into African team, let him play as an African.
Let him not
Don't
play
bring your English side
your
into
your Ulami side
Your
here.
Ulami
No,
side
we
into
do, we do not do that here.
honestly.
Like the way Everton walileta Ulami.
Let Ulami have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically how you play, because if you come home, you should play how with the home people. You should feel at home, because for Egypt, they were only getting the ball, and then if you see each and every one of them just looking at Salah, and then if Salah gets the ball, just shoots.
Just shoot. So remember, viewer, it's a plus for other teams that are waiting their fate. We also had other results happening during the weekend, whereby we had Nigeria thrashing Cameroon 3 goals. The defending champions are finally out. 3 goals to 2, the scorers including Arsenal's Alex Iwobi. We also had Algeria thrashing Guinea, that is 3 goals to 0. Madagascar managing to win against Congo in the post-match penalties. Also having our own neighboring East African country, Uganda, going down to Senegal courtesy of Sadio Mane's goal. We also had Morocco versus Benin, which ended in post-match penalties. Particularly the game against Morocco and Benin. One thing that really surprised me is Benin.
Yes.
They entered the sport in the round of 16 being the best losers. And managing to thrash a team like Morocco with the
best coach.
But
with the best coach, with the big players like the likes of ZH, as we can see him.
but I believe
What
Morocco.
is Benin using to reach this far?
Let's
What's
call it.
Benin
Let's
using?
call it beginner's
Or can we
luck.
say
That's
it's
beginner's luck.
Yeah.
Plus Morocco, they were a bit unlucky. Morocco had the chance to win the game at the 90th minute when ZH slammed his penalty against the post.
I know that will cost him his
That,
confidence.
that's
a
just
lot.
unlucky. That's just being
It's
unlucky.
the same thing he did in the UEFA Champions
This
League.
league, yeah.
So
Exactly. That was being unlucky. And Benin, so far, as much as they're playing, they played well against Ghana. The 2-2 draw against Ghana. That was a good game, but they haven't been consistent. But what is driving them, I believe it's luck. It's simply luck. Yeah.
It's mere luck for them. Okay, so we're having also the quarterfinals whereby Senegal will be coming against Benin. Nigeria will also be facing against South Africa. This Nigeria and South Africa game is promising to be one game that really will look out for.
As much as
But
it's promising,
As you saw Nigeria playing against Cameroon,
Yes.
what can you take? What positives can you take from the Nigerian team?
okay, Nigeria, they just don't know when to quit. They have that drive. The likes of Musa. He has his own drive, Audio Nigalo. And Musa confessed that he's doing it for the late Stephen Keshi, their former coach. They won the AFCON Cup when he was alive, when he was still he was still coach back in 2013. And I believe this drive that you want to do it for, he calls him the big boss. He was a legend in Nigeria. He wants to do it for Keshi, and I believe that drive
will lead them to somewhere.
it's encouraging them never to quit.
Okay, so we are also having Algeria being a team that has not yet conceded goals in this tournament so far.
But they shouldn't.
What's
be
the secret of
last.
Algeria?
Algeria is just they are fundamental. They are fundamental.
And hatuwezi sema ni majuju cause
Ah,
hakuna
They
majuju kwa
showed,
Arabu.
they showed us from the beginning. They have won 2-0. They thrashed Tanzania 3-0. Thrashed Guinea 3-0. But for Guinea, I can say there was a misplay because they lacked Naby Keita. And it was a big fallout for them. But according to how Algeria played, they really played spectacular.
But as much as you say Keita was missing, what would have Keita brought to the team?
At least less goals.
Okay.
They say one man cannot play the whole team.
Ask Messi.
True.
Ask Messi,
Ask
he'll
Messi.
tell you.
Okay, viewer, ask Messi is what people are, is what Jeff, my panel, is saying over here about Argentina relying on Messi. That's why they are saying, talking about the Nigeria game. So, viewer, we are going to take a quick, short commercial break. We'll be right back with the Copa America final, the Women's World Cup final, and also the Prediction Center.